A warm welcome to one and all. It's always our pleasure and honor to welcome you all on this platform, representing Learn by Chapter. As we all know, today we have gathered on this platform to talk about academic excellence versus student well-being. Is it a false dichotomy? So this is what is today's topic. When it is such a beautiful topic that we have taken for today, as we all know, it's a compassionate challenge, balancing the academic rigor with student well-being. So breaking this false dichotomy, what does it mean? It means the mutual reinforcing the framework for this compassionate challenge. So when we talk about this beautiful topic, it is a widespread but always a mistaken as a belief that rigor and high expectations are incompatible with care, inclusion, and mental health support. Hope everyone will agree with me on this point. So this perspective often frames educational success as a zero-sum trade-off. Means we always start from zero, net zero, where an institution must always choose between a tough situation or a tough framework or a compassionate framework. But on this platform, why we have chosen this topic for today is that, as we all know, exam times are near, definitely. So what is being missed out in the call is that the student well-being, thinking that higher grades are achievable only when you have a very tough situation around or hardworking. But drawing from all the sources we have gathered on this platform to say that this is a false dichotomy, that how these two concepts actually reinforce each other, that is, work in hand each other, so that at least for the forthcoming years that we'll have a clarity on this point and we'll be able to achieve it. So it is like more kind of intertwined with the nature of skills, as you all know, that academic and holistic well-being are more intertwined and rather than with competing interests. That's what I would say. So this holistic child development or the student development incorporates academic rigor and the strengths in one area, typically fostering development in the other. When they achieve this, there is always a development in the social emotional learning as well. So we cannot compromise on this. And so to boost the grade level averages as a with standardized test scores in all subjects of that they are learning. So in that, what is required is what we need to consider is that well-being as a prerequisite for excellence. So when we consider this peripheral concern, that student well-being is being described as a foundational state of readiness. I really mean it. It's a foundational state of readiness rather than being a very cynical or burnout for students and also staff in other hands. So conversely, focusing on solely on the well-being, academic excellence or the progression will lead at one point of time to student stagnation. So we have arrived at a thriving model, which helps the schools to focus on both thriving and flourishing, such that students will be able to navigate these complex challenges along with the teachers as mentors and come up in all flying colors. So moving ahead, it is more related to the historical culture of the education landscape with self-sacrifice, stoicism, anything that you can take, where the learners felt that these raising concerns about excessive workloads and mistreatment added as a sign of weakness for them. So to avoid this fatigue and distress, we have come up with the concept of conceptual challenge, handling this mental health in the with prime importance, with warm demandingness, with much more flexibility, which will help rather than to gauge the students, guide the students as guardrails, such that we can make these complementary pillars, I would really emphasize on the term as complementary pillars to create a sustainable and effective education system. So this is what the whole session is all about, that we are going to see how is it achievable in an education background. So when it comes to do that, allow me to share my screen. I would like to share a small video. Many of you must have come across this particular video, definitely.
As she stood in front of her 5th grade class on the first day of school, she told the children an untruth. Like most teachers, she looked at her students and said that she loved them all the same. However, that was impossible, because there in the front row, slumped in his seat, was a little boy named Teddy Stallard. Miss Thompson had watched Teddy the year before and noticed that he didn't play well with other children, that his clothes were messy, and that he constantly needed a bath. And Teddy could be unpleasant. It got to the point where Miss Thompson would actually take delight in marking his papers with a broad red pen, making bold X's, and then putting a big F at the top of his papers. At the school where Miss Thompson taught, she was required to review each child's past records, and she put Teddy's off until the last. However, when she reviewed his file, she was in for a surprise. Teddy's 1st grade teacher wrote, "Teddy is a bright child with a ready laugh. He does his work neatly and has good manners. He is such a joy to be around." His 2nd grade teacher wrote, "Teddy is an excellent student, well liked by his classmates, but he is troubled because his mother has a terminal illness, and life at home must be a struggle." His 3rd grade teacher wrote, "His mother's death has been hard on him. He tries to do his best, but his father doesn't show much interest, and his home life will soon affect him if some steps aren't taken." Teddy's 4th grade teacher wrote, "Teddy is withdrawn and doesn't show much interest in school. He doesn't have many friends, and he sometimes sleeps in class." By now, Miss Thompson realized the problem, and she was ashamed of herself. She felt even worse when her students brought her Christmas presents, wrapped in beautiful ribbons and bright paper, except for Teddy's. His present was clumsily wrapped in heavy brown paper that he got from a grocery bag. Miss Thompson took pains to open it in the middle of the other presents. Some of the students started to laugh when she found a rhinestone bracelet with some of the stones missing and a bottle that was 1/4 full of perfume, but she stifled the children's laughter when she exclaimed how pretty the bracelet was, putting it on and dabbing some of the perfume on her wrist. Teddy Stallard stayed after school that day, just long enough to say, "Miss Thompson, today you smell just like my mom used to." After the children left, she cried for at least an hour. On that very day, she quit teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic. Instead, she began to teach children. Miss Thompson paid particular attention to Teddy. As she worked with him, his mind began to come alive. The more she encouraged him, the faster he responded. By the end of the year, Teddy had become one of the smartest children in the class, and, despite her lie that she would love all the children the same, Teddy became one of her teacher's pets. A year later, she found a note under her door from Teddy, telling her that she was the best teacher he'd ever had in his whole life. 6 years went by before she got another note from Teddy. He then wrote that he had finished high school third in his class, and she was still the best teacher he ever had in his whole life. 4 years after that, she got another letter, saying that while things had been tough at times, he'd stayed in school. He'd stuck with it and would soon graduate from college with the highest of honors. Again, he assured Miss Thompson that she was still the best and favorite teacher he'd ever had. Then 4 more years passed, and yet another letter came. After he got his bachelor's degree, he had decided to go a little further. She was still the best and favorite teacher he'd ever had. But now his name was a little longer. The letter was signed Theodore F. Stallard, M.D. The story does not end here. There was yet another letter that spring. Teddy said he'd met this girl and was going to be married. He explained that his father had died a couple of years ago, and he was wondering if Miss Thompson might agree to sit at the wedding in the place that was usually reserved for the mother of the groom. Of course, Miss Thompson did, and guess what? She wore that bracelet, the one with several rhinestones missing. Moreover, she made sure she was wearing the perfume that Teddy remembered his mother wearing on their last Christmas together. They hugged each other, and Dr. Stallard whispered in Miss Thompson's ear, "Thank you for believing in me. Thank you so much for making me feel important and showing me that I could make a difference." Miss Thompson, with tears in her eyes, whispered back. She said, "Teddy, you have it all wrong. You were the one who taught me that I could make a difference. I didn't know how to teach until I met you." You can never tell what type of impact you may have on another's life by your actions or lack of action. Please consider this fact in your venture through life, and just try to make a difference in someone else's life today.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Rohini. Thank you so much. So, we all know that we have so many Teddys in our classroom. But how are we actually going to address this problem of a real life situation when students, they do have the potential to learn, but they don't know how to come out of their problems? So what are we trying to do? We are trying to bridge a balance between this situation of academic excellence with social well-being or the student well-being. So on that note, Ms. Rohini, can you share the PowerPoint? Thank you. So it's a compassionate challenge, which is harnessing high expectations, academic rigor, and the holistic well-being in education. So moving ahead, what could be done to manage this situation? What is the situation that we are actually talking about is to bridge this gap which is existing. So in that note, like if you actually see what could be done, what is to be done from our side, that's what we need to look into. Ms. Rogan, if possible, try to share that picture which I've sent you of the compassionate challenge. Is it possible to share that picture?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just sharing. Give me one second, please.
sure. Thank you, dear. So when we talk about the compassionate challenge, which is balancing the rigor and the student's well-being, what are we talking about? Breaking this false dichotomy of rare and care or mutually reinforcing the framework of the compassionate challenge. When we do that, what will be achieved is that 8.4 percentage of increase in the academic standing, which will help a long way through the ACL programs and move the students' grade from C to B. So with warm demandingness, rather than being strict, with warm demandingness, it will move the children from passive learning to active learning. That is, the low standards without structure or support, it can be replaced with active standards and the high expectations with personal warmth, encouragement, and cognitive support. The students will be able to achieve more. In that, we will be able to achieve this kind of a percentage on the overall. Overall, it can reflect or it can increase our achievement to 4.2% from the existing situation. Now, when we do this, what should be adopted in that is that there is 5 pillars of holistic readiness, which is kind of a spiritual wellness, which is more related to the values, proper sleep, which is we need to administer proper sleep to the students, proper nutrition, definitely to be attended to, their mental health and the physical health. As an overall 360, if we compass our focus with these 5 pillars of holistic readiness, this compassionate challenge, balancing between academic rigor and student well-being, is achievable. So in that, what could be done is the flexibility of the guardrails. We need not be so stringent, so strict in our expectations or with the regulations. We can be little flexible such that we don't gauge them, we guide them. So when we do that, we don't teach them, we inspire our students. So in this process, so many challenges that they will come across. So we extend our support, being mentors, not as managers, thereby imbibing resilience as an outgrowth of support. Here comes LBC. So when it resilience, what is the act of resilience? How many times you fall, you raise up. That's the simple way to say it. So this resilience blooms naturally with the students to receive corrective measures with structured routines. So when we are able to achieve this kind of a support, definitely it will help them a great deal. Can we move on to the next slide here? So this is what is a compassionate challenges all about. Yes. We should go to the context page now, Ms. Rohini.
Just a moment, ma'am.
No issues, please. You can understand. Should I try sharing here? Ms. Rohini?
Just a moment, ma'am. I'm trying to open it. It got closed automatically. I don't know why.
Let me try sharing it, if it's okay. Yeah. Thank you. So the context. Can we move on to the next slide here? Yes. So the context, yes, you're right. It's about relating the difficult past with uncertain futures and connecting it to the present. So this kind of an education system, which can be in the operation with volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, which will relate to the student reality of the trauma and the disruption which they are undergoing because of the problems which they are facing, relating it to the past, helping them with the mental emergency, and with the stunning levels of disengagement and burnout, which will really help to come out with the student, with the teacher as a mentor. It will help them to come out of the situation and to handle it. So the main thing is we just don't enroll kids. We need to know their stories. So when we do the diagnostic assessment, we will exactly be able to tell exactly what is the problem that they are facing and how to come out of this problem. Is it with the learning or with the emotional intelligence or with the social quotient? As I have mentioned in the previous session also, the whole process involves the 5 different quotient. That is the intelligent quotient, the intelligence level of the student, knowledge quotient. With that, we will be able to exactly tell exactly their knowledge level, and the emotional, relating it to the emotional quotient, how it is affecting the emotional quotient, and administering with the social emotional learning strategies. We'll be able to administer interventions such that we'll be able to take them forward. So with the intelligence quotient, with the emotional quotient, we'll be able to handle the social quotient such that the student come out of their own problems and they will be able to liberate themselves with from all the fears, doubts, and apprehensions, and they will be able to come across, equip them with the skills that are required, handling the adversity quotient, and moving on to the whole universal quotient with the holistic development. So with this process, it is a very scientific process that we are talking about. With this process, we'll be able to handle the difficult past, relating it to the present, and taking it forward to the uncertain futures. And towards the end of the session, we will be able to see how Learn by Chapter is taking it forward. Ms. Rohini, can we move on to the next slide? Yeah. So this is what this whole topic is all about, with the false dichotomy, with the academic rigor versus well-being, and how we are going to take it forward. So taking it from the unnecessary discomfort to the necessary discomfort, and administering the well-being strategies to develop the academic depth and the knowledge and the academic rigor which is required. Can we move on to the next slide, please? Thank you. So what could be done in this fact is that the evidence of synergy. For anything and everything, it has to be evident, especially in the education landscape. The reports, the progress report, or the movement, the progression which shows, it involves the evidences which comes as the academic reports. So this holistic approach which is being administered with the multiplier of the academic outcomes, that is, you will be able to clearly see how the student has overcome the situation and moving forward. with the academic achievement and the holistic skills of being intervened, the strengths of being focused, and which are catered to the development of the student, overcoming the adversity which is required, whether it is a trauma or the displacement, or it could be economic precarity or the academic knowledge or the academic deficiency, academic discomfort, or whichever thing that we are talking about, you will be able to see very clearly how the progress is taking them forward. And in case of intervention, any kind of intervention which is required, whether it is social emotional intervention, whether it is knowledge level intervention, or is it with the health or the medical intervention which is required, this is being gauged up and taking them forward with the economic and societal productivity, with all involved, all kind of recommendations which are being focused. So do we have this kind of a mapping system in our present education system? Yes, we do have reports, we do have academic reports, we do have progress reports, etc., etc., etc. But does our progress report cater to this kind of a scientific recommendation or a scientific prescription which is being administered? That is why we say that Learn by Chapter is definitely more kind of a doctor to the student, and it is like a blessing to the student and boon to the teachers. Moving ahead, please. Thank you, Ms. Rohini. So what could be done in this case is that the stance is that being a warm demander. First thing is, our reports which come to the student or which is being published, it definitely has the high expectation what the student has to achieve in that particular standard or in that particular phase of life or first phase of learning, but with active demandingness, in the sense like we do have standards which are set, but we guide them with a passive administration, in the sense like if there is a problem, if the student is not able to move ahead, we identify it more scientifically, guiding them, telling them very clearly, you have a problem in this particular part of it, focus on the problem such that you will be able to eradicate the problem or come out of the problem, and then you can move ahead. So you become a warm demander with active demandingness, but with the personal warmth, guiding them with the flexibility, but definitely with the guardrails, as do offer flexible deadlines within the module. In the sense, it's not that summative assessment reports are which are being given. Even if it is a formative assessment report, the report card once published, you cannot take it back. But not with us. With the Learn by Chapter reports, always the student has a time. The student can go back and work at his own pace and work at his own speed. With practice, definitely he'll be able to come out of this problem. So this is more kind of a scientific guidance which is being given, which is being administered with the student wellness, with the focus, in the focus. And so we don't worry about lowest grades which are being coming. If it is lowest grade, doesn't matter. You give them one more try, you practice it one more time until you get the highest grade or until you get the exact output. So for doing this, definitely our resources are of a greatest help. We don't really use the same kind of test and the answer report procedure which is being involved. We do have different ways of learning styles. We do consider the different ways of learning styles of students with different administrative tasks which are being given, not only as a worksheet, not only as a project, but also as videos, as podcasts, whichever way the student want to learn and whichever way they want to express, whether he wants to do a drawing, whether he wants to do a project work, whether he wants to do research work, depending upon their level of competency, we administer the tasks which are being there. They are all tasks which are differentiated at different levels of learning. For low achievers, there are different tasks. For high achievers, there are different tasks. And also different ways they can express themselves in their own perspective, such that it helps them with high standards, with support, but definitely taking them forward towards progression. Can we move on to that next step? Next slide, please, where we call it as structure is support. Means we are structuring the support. We are not there to just gauge them or give them a report based on their performance, but we guide them with the process, developing the resilience in them with the natural outgrowth of support. So with this, as you can see, the fabric is being intertwined. As I told you before, this academic excellence and the student well-being are not two parallels or two railway tracks as we think, but these are more kind of intervened such that they develop this beautiful fabric of taking their students towards their defined goals, reducing the cognitive workload with the transparent rubrics, with energy goes into the thinking, not decoding the instructions, but a consistent routine which is being administered and guided. Reframe this uncertainty as a process, but not as a crisis which is to be handled. Can we move on to this? Next slide, please. So when we do this, as at Learn by Chapter, it encompasses the whole student agency, taking responsibility of their own learning, creating a new value, reducing or reconciling the tensions and the dilemmas which are being there, such that it is not being an instruction which is being given, but it navigates the whole concept from the core concept to the shift that is being required. So when we move ahead, as at Learn by Chapter, it is otherwise called as redefining the rigor. That is, the rigor is the depth of the domain knowledge or the standards of expectation according to that particular class, but not in the volume or the workload, but as a structured inquiry-based learning, such that the student asks questions to themselves to achieve that particular standard with well-structured tasks which are being given as whichever way they want to use it, such that they will be able to relate between the distinction and the balance which is being set. Moving ahead. So when we do this, what it develops is the ecosystem of support where schools cannot function in isolation, but they work as a framework. It relates to the parent and we complete this triangle of parent, teacher and the student with 5 keys of domains of engagement with communication, partnership with parents, community collaboration, with decision-making roles, develop the school structure of culturally responsible. So when we do that, there is a partnership based on the cross-cultural respect, or the main ways of achieving effectiveness is the depth of education. That's what we try to achieve at Learn by Chapter. Reports are communicated to parents on every day basis, every task basis, that parents will be able to monitor the students' progress and they will be able to contribute also. According to the particular students, even it is sometimes we tailor make it and give them suggestions such that if at all any kind of intervention, external intervention which is required, it is being administered to that. They are being guided to that. Can we move on to the next slide here? We finished the practice of classroom that we are there. So when we do that, what is required is the whole academic editorial of reflection tools. First thing is the tools of reflection is required in the classroom. Practice for the classroom, dear. Yes. So first is that the student reflection tools, which is being definitely has to be administered with, it could be either the simple traffic light system, as many of you might be using it. Red is for not understanding, not involving, or not got it, or maybe an yellow yellow paper, like anything that the student can show. They're showing that, yes, I'm halfway through, I'm there, but the green shows that, yes, we are already there. Some very simple like that. Or a reflection of the lesson, saying that what well in the lesson, what did not work well, what could have worked well, and if at all we need to have this, how we can make it possible. So this kind of reflection tools through the course of the lesson, if we practice this we will definitely help a great deal in the teachers and not only for the teachers but also for the students. And the assessment strategies. We cannot have one test for everyone. Some children, they really require MCQs. So the teacher has to prepare at least 5 different types of tests for assessing the student, their level of learning or their level of the knowledge level, etc. So when we do that, is it possible for the teacher to prepare this 5 different kind of tests? And testing need not be a question paper. It could be even the rubrics. After every chapter or every lesson or every concept, there could be a rubric saying that if you have done this, that's what I showed you last week about the diagnostic assessment. If you have achieved this exactly, then you are in the level 1. If you have achieved this, then you're in the level 2. If you have achieved this, level 3. But what you need to achieve is the level 5. So this kind of assessment strategies with the rubric for each and every concept, every topic, which can really help a great deal. So summative assessment or the formative assessment are not the only assessment strategies that will gauge or that will tell us very clearly about the student's level of learning, but definitely the classroom strategies, assessment strategies will help us a great deal in taking it forward. So otherwise, other kind of assessment strategies, the assignments which are being administered to them for revision, either it is for checking the level of understanding, whether it is for as a project work or to check their independent way of learning, or with the assessment which really help, assignments which really help us to understand how they can revise the lesson. Say, for example, if a lesson is being taught in the classroom in the forenoon or in the classroom situation, the student with Learn by Chapter, the student get a time to go back and review the same lesson with the podcast, saying that, yes, I heard it, I have understood it. Something which is not clear, they can go back and check on that. And with the worksheets, with the assignment sheets, when they get stuck with assignment sheets, they can go back once again, review the same thing with the videos which are being there, with the PowerPoints which are there, etc., etc. So all these are assessment strategies which really helps the student to take it forward. So when we do that, our instructors, we are not just doctors to prescribe something and give it to them. We are we are more like guides who take them forward hand in hand in the process of learning. That is, to come out of their boundaries, to come out of their apprehensions, to come out of their doubts, to come out of their fears. So it is our duty as educators to take them forward. So moving on to the next slide, what is required actually as a next step is that in terms of, yes, thank you, Ria. In terms of a school as a component, as I told you, when in the process of learning, there are different compartments in it. Student themselves is one compartment. Teacher is another compartment. Resources that we use is another compartment. The facilities which are there in the school is another compartment. So when we put together, and also the service providers are also another compartment. So these are otherwise called as stakeholders. When all the stakeholders are put together to work in unison, we'll be able to achieve it. What could be done is that a systematic change over individual resonance, not following the same curriculum as it is. Definitely the curriculum adoption is very much required, but to implementation of the curriculum can be modified. What do I really mean that? If you actually see, our focus is on the students who are not learning, who are not involved in the process of learning. When it is so, there could be a slight modification in the curriculum such that if there is a problem, when there is a problem, you just can't build castles in air, and such that the one day the whole castle will come down. So better to have a basic foundation which is strongly built, and you can have learning support facilities which are being administered as a policy which is being there in the school in terms of learning support. In other words, it is otherwise called as inclusive education, bringing inclusive education into the fold and taking it forward with the leadership activities. So when we do that, you can always, what is the main thing is involvement of parents into the fold. As you can always invite them for a coffee morning session or to parent walk-in, such that the parents are also involved in a classroom. They can come and see exactly what's happening in the classroom. And if at all required, they can also contribute for this learning support, such that they will know exactly where the problem is, whether the problem is with the teacher or the student. If that is so, they will be able to administer the interventions which are required. So this involves the curriculum, policy, and the leadership. However way it is suitable, that is what is required. If we are trying to do something new in terms of innovation or in terms of new activities or a new incorporation, it doesn't mean that we need to jeopardize the situation. The situation which is already present has to go on smoothly on its own. But we can slowly, gradually include these kind of activities, whichever way possible, which is more accommodative with the local authority, with the local community, we will be able to achieve our results much better, considering the local situation or the infrastructure or the ecosystem which is being present. Can we move on to the next slide here? So when we do that, our main what we will be able to achieve is that happiness and excellence are not just zero-sum game. Definitely, it will really have a major impact on the student retention, teachers' retention. It will be supported a major way to the happiness index of not only the student, not only the teacher, not only the education institution, but also the state and then the country, and taking it forward. It will really help us. So with the new operation system, what is required is that the direction, the structure, and the foundation, with the focus on the health, happiness, fortitude, and the faith. So we do not choose the mind between the mind and the heart, but we train the mind through the heart. That's what we are trying to achieve at Learn with Chapter. And how Learn with Chapter successfully doing it, that's what I'm going to show towards the end of the session. So all these references are taken from these resources. That is for you to just have an idea. So moving ahead, come to the last slide here. Thank you. The next one. Yes. So when we try to balance the rigor and the student well-being, we are breaking the false dichotomy, saying that rigor and care are mutually reinforced. With academic rigor and the student well-being, we'll be able to increase our learning percentage, definitely taking India into consideration. If we adopt this, that we promisingly say that there will be an increase of 8.4% in the present system of working of the academic achievement. So when we do that, it will build a framework of compassionate challenge with 5 pillars of holistic readiness, which will be more inclined towards spiritual, then taking into forward the student well-being with having the nutritional value into account with the mental well-being and also the physical well-being, with flexibility of the guardrails, not to just guard them, but guide them, with resilience in support as academic interventions, which are being there as IEPs, that individual education plan or whatever thing that we can come up with. But in the whole process, what is the key thing is that with the warm demandingness, guiding them to the passive literacy percentage. So this is what is the whole thing that we are focusing on today's session. How Learn with Chapter is doing it. That's what we're going to see. Ms. Rohini, can we just go on to go to our website? You can click the link, Rohini. It will take you to the website. Ms. Rohini, you're trying to share the screen? Yeah. Thank you, dear. So as you can see, this is our website, and the keyword is Learn Smarter, Teach Better, and Perform Exceptionally Well. It's the world's most powerful CBSE resource platform for classes 6 to 12, empowering students, teachers, and the schools worldwide. And can we go down here? Can we go down here? So who we are, that's what we are trying to say. Learn with Chapter is a global education platform offering chapter-wise NEP-aligned resources for grades 6 to 12 across CBSE subjects and streams. And we are proudly built by School of Educators, SOE, powered by the Legacy of Excellence from Nagin Group of Schools. And so we are present here with the vision to create the world's most effective, inclusive, and engaging school learning platform, where every teacher feels empowered and every child feels supported and every school thrives for innovation. So coming here, can we go down? Yes. As you can see, our courses include comprehensive notes. Yes. PowerPoint presentation, concept videos, sample question papers, NCERT solutions, daily practice papers, NCERT exemplars, previous year questions as a question bank, etc., etc., etc. And in all, what we are focusing on a self-regulated learning for the student. So as you click here, as you come to the courses, well, we are offering courses from grade 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. From 6 to 12, we are offering the course. If you click on grade 6, it will open for students and the teachers. And if you click on students, it will open for old NCERT and also NCERT and new NCERT as well. So can we take one particular class? Grade 10. Teachers. Yes, thank you, dear. So there are about 126 courses. And as you come here, this is grade 10 teachers course. And it is available in English, Maths, Science, and Social. And these are exclusively for teachers. And if you take grade 10 Science, so the page opens like this. And as we have seen, what all things that we are providing here, it comes as a list, overall list. So as you choose here, the sample lesson, any sample lesson that you can take, and all these are being provided for each and every topic. One single topic, that is, all these things are provided. And to emphasize or to make it more easier, you can enroll yourself as Ma'am Rohini has done. As you can see, enter your email ID and you type your password. You will get access for all these resources. And how to enroll for the course is with the affiliate program. When you come here, definitely you'll be able to access all our courses when you become a member with our affiliate program. So when it comes to grade 10 Science for teachers, so all these things that we are providing. And as you can see, grade 10 Science for teachers. So how many courses are there in all? There are about 14 topics as such. For each and every topic, every single topic we are providing. So topic-wise education podcast is there. And this is definitely, it can be used as a prelude and also after the lesson as well. Prelude means before taking the class, students can hear it to know exactly what the topic is all about, and they will get an idea of exactly. Yes, NCERT books are also included. Definitely they are included. Can we go on to the next one, dear? Podcast. As you can see, chapter-wise, topic-wise notes are there. Can we go down and show Ms. Rohini? You can just show it to them. How the notes are there. Yeah, we can share when you have to become a member to access all these resources. Once you become a member, you will gain access to all these resources which are being there. So these are chapter-wise notes which are being there. We can move on to the next one, Ms. Rohini. For each and every topic, explanation videos are also there. PowerPoints for the classroom delivery. All these resources for one topic. I'm telling, okay. So again, for the same topic, we provide Bloom's taxonomy-based assessment rubrics. As you can see, in that very clearly, NCERT learning outcome is mentioned with the level of learning, exactly which level they are, whether they are in the knowledge level, whether they are in the, for even knowledge level, there are different rubrics. Like if you have achieved this particular state, then you are in the excellent state, excellent level. Like that, each and every, for each and every concept, for each and every level of learning, it is being given as rubrics. And the student can really gauge their own level, in the sense they themselves can check on the level of learning, whether it is they are the beginner level, whether they are in the developing level, or whether they are in the excellent level. Exactly, they will be able to say. And whichever topic, whichever task that they can choose, they have the liberty to choose the particular topic or the task which they are interested, which they want to do on their own. So multiple intelligence-based lesson plans are there, where you can see the lesson objectives are very clearly mentioned, aligned with the NCERT learning outcomes. Go down to here. And for the task and the experiments, materials that are going to be used, and the lesson is being structured for 40 minutes with the starter activity, with the direct instruction, and the activity, whether it is a pair activity or the group activity or the individual activity which is being there, with the review of the lesson. As I told you, assessment is very important, not only as a test paper or the question paper or a worksheet. Even these kind of assessments is very, very important administering in the class, and it really helps a great deal. And as you have seen, this is integrated with the multiple intelligences, with even the activities, the tasks administered or aligned with the multiple intelligences, whether it is visual learner or the linguistic learner or auditory learner, anything that is being given for the review and the practice extension is given as homework or the assignment sheet, or if it is for the high achiever, even the research task is being administered. So with all these things, definitely the student will be able to move forward. We have done that actually. We have done this part here. So as we all know, practice makes a man perfect. For each and every topic, what could be the practice papers which can be given is already given. So this has n number of worksheets, n number of assignment sheets, which the student can practice themselves at their own pace. And if at all they have a problem, they will go back to the previous level and check it. And with the assessment rubrics, they are guided with the proper intervention and learning targets, such are being given, which are given very clearly. Again, this is done topic-wise. And without compromising on the local authority expectations, we have given practice question papers as a question bank so that the student can practice even this as many times as they want, whichever time of the day which is comfortable, suitable for them. They can go across these question papers n number of times, not just one time. If you do that, then the second time you need to pay to get the access, nothing like that. They can practice it n number of times as they want to until they get the authority of it. So again, keeping multiple intelligences into account, it is more related to art-related projects, the same topic, for the same topic, one single topic which I'm talking about. So it is related to different geographical phenomenon as well, like whichever state that they want to, whichever thing which is possible for them to, say, for example, people in Jammu Kashmir, they are being given different topics, different projects. People who are in Madhya Pradesh, they are being given different projects. Likewise, taking into geographical environment or the situation into consideration, these topics are being given, these projects are given. Then a mind map session with a quick revision of the visual summary that is also being guided as a guide, where you are and exactly what all things that. So this goes as a checklist, not only for the student, but also for the teacher, how they have learned, at which level they are in, and how they need to move out. It's like taking them very clearly with the mind map, mapping the way of learning and taking them forward with the learning pathway. And last but not the least, exam-ready booklet with much predicted questions. Again, I repeat, it is not chapter-wise, it is topic-wise. Very clearly, the student can choose their topic and they can just attempt these questions, practice with these questions, with the solutions for which, for each and every question, there are solutions which are being administered. And if there is a problem, when we do this, when there is a problem, how to come out of the problem, it is always supported with diagnostic assessment, where it gives a very clear mapping of the level of the student. First it assesses the level of the student, and then it takes the student to the report saying that you are in this level, but what you need to achieve is this. So that's why, yes, you can access it to all grades, definitely. So all the more it is given as a quiz. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Megashwami. Yes, dear. So as they open the diagnostic assessment, they have to enroll with the name, email ID, phone, and the school name. And then moving on to next. So this is the question which is being there. Say if I'm going to choose the answer A, so it gives your answer is wrong and why it is wrong. The main reason, the main advantage is why the answer is wrong, that is being there. And so if the answer is wrong, what could be the next intervention that can be administered? Again, the answer is wrong. It gives exactly why the answer is wrong. What is the actual answer and where the child has gone wrong? It is explained very clearly. So the answers keep coming like this. And definitely the student can go back and work on many number of times as such, and they will be able to achieve it. Thank you, Ms. Rohini. Thank you. Are we doing the full question paper, dear? Thank you. So can we go to the affiliate program? I would like to show them the affiliate program as well. Yes, when you come to the affiliate program, so this is what it will be like that. And you have to enroll yourself, giving your details. As you can see, you become affiliate, and we welcome people, not only as affiliate as a person, even if you want to take a franchisee, we are open to that, and you can always write to us, and you can just work on the particular modes, and with the commission structure of tier 1, tier 2, everything that is being there, or the individual enrollment is also possible for a student, or otherwise as an institution, as a teacher, anything is possible. Only thing is you will be able to access all these resources only when you become a member of us, when you become a member with Learn by Chapter. Thank you, dear. Thank you, Ms. Rohini. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Rohini. Thank you. So with that, definitely we are here to emphasize with all this support which are readily available. What is stopping you from really making use of them? So we emphasize the fact that this false dichotomy between the student well-being and academic excellence, which is widespread but mistaken, is that rigor and high expectations are incompatible with care, inclusion, and the mental health support. We need to break this, and we are here to prove that this is more kind of a intervened system to develop this fabric of social emotional learning along with the academic competency and excellence. So thank you so much. Thanks. We have come to the end of the session. If anybody would like to say something, please. If anybody would like to say something, please. Thank you. I'm just reading the questions. Yes, certificate will be given. You will gain the access, definitely. Anyone who becomes a member will have an access to our programs, definitely. Will gain the access. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you. Please.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I had two very quick questions. Number
Please.
one, when we enroll our kids to this platform, what is the membership fees that they are supposed to pay?
Ma'am, which are the courses that you are going to enroll for? We should please
So,
write to us.
Grade 12 we are looking at.
Okay. So please write to us. We will be able to guide you through a proper walkthrough, so that we will be able to, it's very difficult. Which are the courses, then which subject, which are the ones that we are working for? So everything has to be, we can't discuss everything here. That's why. Please write to us.
That varies from subject to subject, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And secondly, is there any provision where an institution can have an official membership, not as a coordinator or maybe a principal?
No. Official membership is also possible. For this also, please write to us. Immediately, our team will be able to help you out.
Okay. Thank you so much. And it was a wonderful question.
Thank you, dear. If you write to us today, tomorrow they will coordinate for the demo session and we'll be able to take it forward.
Yeah, understood. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome, dear. Welcome. Any other person? Anybody else who has a question? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. So we would welcome you. Yeah. You know how we are supposed to receive the certificate. Soon after the session, our team will send the certificates to the registered email. Definitely, ma'am. Definitely. To the registered email, the certificates will be sent. And provided that you have been in the session for at least 30 minutes. Minimum duration that you have to be present in the session is 30 minutes. If it is less than 30 minutes, since it is automated kind of thing, then you will not get your certificate. Thank you. Thank you, dear. Thank you. So with that, we have come to the end of the session. Ms. Rohini, do you want to add anything? Please. Mr. Rishabh, you want to add anything? Please. Thank you.
No, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to one and all. Thank you.